Welcome back to breathtakingly beautiful Thailand. Today's 30-minute practice combines elements of stability, fluidity, and strength, all to challenge you and offer you a chance to surrender to the flow. Surrender to what you cannot control. Surrender to your physical limitations, needs, and boundaries. Surrender to the idea that maybe this practice is exactly what you needed, uncomfortable though it may be. Surrender to the idea that maybe you can go further and do more than you believed possible. As we step onto the mat, I only ask that you keep an open heart to whatever this practice may be inviting you to surrender to. So come join me in this little corner of Thai paradise and let's flow it out together. Let's come to the back of the mat, toes tucked, sitting down onto the heels, stretching the arms forward, releasing the forehead to the mat, and just breathing in, releasing any tension with your exhale, maybe lifting up onto your fingertips to go a bit deeper into the shoulders. And now let's come forward, bring the belly to the mat, looking up, Sphinx pose, and then pushing back into an active child's pose. Inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you go back. Keep moving, keep breathing. This time you can release those toes, maybe lift the knees and the thighs off of the mat, and upward facing dog. Coming up to a cat and just holding that rounded position in the shoulders. And sitting back. Inhale as you come forward, upward facing dog or Sphinx pose. You can shift from side to side or stay still. And then let's come back into cat, rounding through the shoulders before we sit down. Back into child's pose. And coming forward again into upward facing dog. Exhale. Coming back to cat. Rounding the shoulders and then sitting down to child's. Release those palms to the mat. Deep breath in. And then tucking the toes, let's lift those knees off of the mat slowly, all the way up into downward facing dog. Walking the dog, bending one knee at a time. You can keep those knees bent or extend them all the way. And then let's bend the knees and walk the feet toward the hands, coming into a forward fold, grabbing both elbows, releasing the head and slowly swaying from side to side, allowing that cervical spine to decompress. You can bob your head up and down in the center, or just stay still and forward fold. And now let's slowly roll up as we release the hands and bring them over your heart into Tadasana, mountain pose. Reconnecting to that intention you set at the beginning. Releasing any expectations, any pressure, any stress. Surrender it all. And let's release the hands, reach them up to the sky, stretching up, and release them down. Let's lift them one more time, reach up, cross them over, and down and cross, reaching up, and releasing, folding forward, grabbing onto your ankles or your calves or behind the knees, keeping your spine straight as you fold over your legs. Begin to bend your knees as you cross your arms over your knees. Wrap yourself into a little ball, tucking the chin to the chest, squeezing, giving yourself a hug, and then slowly roll up. Reach the arms up to the sky, grabbing that right wrist with the left hand, stretching to the left side of the mat. And back to center. Let's switch hands. Right hand grabs the left wrist, allowing your hips to sink to the left side of the mat. Breathing into that side body. Hips are square. And back to center. Let's do that one more time on each side. You can look up to the sky. And back to center, switching, bending over to the right side now. And back to center, let's reach up. Bending the elbows as your hands come down to heart. Releasing the arms, reach up to the sky and swan dive forward into our forward fold. Reaching to the right side of the mat, twisting over so that your left side body is stretching out. Breathe into the stretch and then shifting your hands over to the left side. Roll up slowly, coming up to center and folding over to the left side of the mat. Bend the knees and switch, swing to the other side and roll up. Reaching the hands up and release them down onto your hips. Spread your feet about hip width apart. Place your hands on your lower back as you bend backwards slightly and exhale, folding forward. Moving with your breath, rolling up, bending back, and folding forward. Back up, moving with your breath. And now let's reach the arms up to the sky, hands come down to heart, taking a moment to pause, noticing how your body feels. Let's bring those feet in. Lift the left foot to come to the inner thigh of the right leg. Hands are at your heart in prayer. And slowly begin to turn to the right, balancing in this twisted tree pose, twisting to the left and then back to the right, really grounding through that right foot. You can open the arms here, twisting back to the left, and back to center. Hands come to heart. Reach up to the sky. And now let's lean to that left side, leaning tree pose. Back to center, leaning to the right. Notice how your weight shifts, where you need to make adjustments. Don't worry if you fall out, just come back. Back to center. Holding in tree pose, and then bring that knee up to the chest. Step it back into high lunge. Reach for the sky, grounding through that right foot and the left toes. Arms are active and engaged. Twisting to the right side now, arms come down. Looking over your right shoulder. Staying connected to your breath. Hands come to the heart in prayer. And let's bring that left elbow onto the right knee. Holding in our twisted high lunge. You can look down at the mat for added balance, added stability. And let's drop that back knee. Lift your chest, come to center in a low lunge. Reach those arms up to the sky. Hands come down to the mat. Shift your weight back, finding half splits. Thinking about connecting your belly to your thigh instead of your nose to your knee. Keeping that spine long and straight. And now let's bring both hands to the left side of the mat. Walk them closer over to your back leg. Left hand is on the mat as your right arm reaches up and over to the left side. And then it comes back down to the mat, walking both hands over to the right side. Right hand on the mat, left arm reaches up and over toward the right side, staying in our half splits pose. And bring that left hand down to the mat. Both hands come to the front, leaning over that right leg, and then slowly sitting down onto the left leg, flexing and pointing that foot. If this is too much on your left leg, you can have a bolster or a blanket underneath your thigh. And now let's come up. We're going to slowly walk that right foot forward, finding half splits again, and planting that left hand on the mat. Left knee lifts, right arm lifts up to the sky. Nice twist here. You can reach your right arm back, looking up at the sky, or back over your back leg, or even down at the mat. And then bring that right hand to the right knee, opening up that right hip by coming onto the right side of the right foot, shifting back and forth, going a bit deeper into this hip opening posture. Just applying gentle pressure with that right hand, nothing intense. Then let's walk that right foot in. Step it back into three-legged dog. Bend the right knee and circle that knee down, around and up for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Reach it up into three-legged dog. Bend the knee and step that right foot over to the left side of your mat. Plant the right hand on the mat and reach up with the left arm. Fall in triangle. You may have to adjust your hands, that's perfectly fine. Breathe into this pose. And bring your hands down to the mat. Bend that right knee and bring it towards your right thumb. So we're finding our pigeon pose. You can keep your chest lifted, or you can slowly roll yourself down, forehead towards the mat, and then slowly bring your head up and releasing down, exhaling, inhaling as you come up. And if flexibility allows, you can come down to your elbows, maybe placing a bolster or a blanket or a pillow underneath your right hip. We want to square off the hips in pigeon pose. The left leg is stretched out behind you. Let's come up to the hands, tuck the back toes, and lift that right leg back into downward facing dog, forward to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog, getting in a nice flow to reset the body, maybe walking the dog, and then slowly walk the feet forward to the front of the mat, forward fold as you exhale. Maybe giving yourself a nice massage on the hamstrings, the calf muscles. And let's slowly roll up to the sky, reaching the arms up, and hands come to heart. We're going to repeat that whole sequence on the opposite side, but let's take a moment to reconnect to the intention of this practice. All right, let's shift all of our weight into that left foot. Right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. Hands are at the heart. And let's begin to twist to the right side again. And back to the left side. Twisted tree pose. Challenging our balance, which is perfectly normal. Coming back to your grounded, solid position. Twisting to the right. And slowly to the left. Coming back to center. Let's reach the arms up to the sky. Leaning to the left now. Pressing that right foot into the thigh. Continuing to challenge our balance. And now leaning to the right side. Great job. Let's come back to center. Still reaching up in tree pose. And release that foot, knee to the chest, and step it back into high lunge. Bending into the left knee. Arms are engaged, reaching up. Right toes are grounded into the mat. And now twisting to the left side. Arms are stretching to opposite sides of the mat, looking over your left shoulder. Deep breath in. And exhale, bring your hands to heart. Place that right elbow onto the left knee. Left elbow is reaching up to the sky, twisted high lunge. Let's drop that right knee and lift up to center. Arms reach up, low lunge. Release the back toes. Inhale. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper. And drop the hands down to the mat. Shift the weight back into half splits. Left toes are pointing up to the sky. Folding over the left leg. Thinking about connecting that belly to the left thigh. Keeping the spine long. Let's walk both hands over to the right side. Right hand plants on the ground. Left arm reaches up and over to that right side. Keeping that extension through the left leg. And bringing the left hand down to the mat. Let's walk both hands over to the left side. Left hand plants down on the mat, reaching up and over with that right arm. Reaching to the left side of the mat. Breathing into that right side body. And coming back to center. Great job, half splits. Breathe into those hamstrings. Deep inhale. Exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper before we sit back onto our right heel. Left toes are pointing and flexing up to the sky. Going a bit deeper into that hamstring. And shifting the weight up. Right hand presses into the mat. Left arm reaches up to the sky as you lift your right knee. You can reach back with that left arm toward your back leg, or just reach it up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, let's bring both hands to the mat, walk that left foot out, coming onto the left side of that left foot, left hand to the knee, rocking back and forth, opening up the left hip, gently pressing away from that left knee, maybe looking up to the sky. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Hand comes back to center, walk in that left foot, holding in a lunge. Hands press into the mat, left foot reaches up into three-legged dog. Bend the knee, circle that knee around and down, back up for 1, down and around for 2, drawing as big of a circle as you can with that left knee. Just a couple more. And extend that leg up into three-legged dog, bend the knee, and step it to the right side of the mat. Left hand presses into the mat, right arm reaches up to the sky, fallen triangle. Beautiful. And right hand comes down. Let's bend that left knee, bring the right knee to the mat as well. Finding our pigeon pose, releasing the toes. And doing a few gentle spinal rolls. Bringing the forehead to the mat and then slowly rolling up. Head comes up last. Releasing forward, rolling up. Moving with your breath. And staying on your hands or maybe coming onto your elbows. placing a block underneath your left hip if you need to. This is the perfect moment to choose to release your expectations, your desire for things to happen a certain way, and simply welcome the possibility that the divine has your best interest at heart and is working to bring that forward to you. So as you breathe through these thoughts, choose to let go and surrender. Let's begin to lift up onto the hands, press into the mat, left leg reaches back into downward facing dog, and let's flow it out. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Letting go of any tension in the mind or the body. With your next inhale, let's bend the knees and slowly walk your feet forward. Exhaling into forward fold. Lift up halfway and fold even further. Lifting up with your inhale, folding with your exhale. Let's bend those knees and sit down onto the mat, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees open. Butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. Releasing forward just a little bit deeper with each exhale. And now let's lift up and slowly begin to make a circle with your head as you come forward and around. And let's go the other way, coming forward and around to the right, down and up, back to center, and then let's come forward again into Baddha Konasana. Maybe this time changing it up a little bit by moving the feet forward just a few inches, making a diamond shape with your legs, keeping the spine straight as you fold forward again. And let's lift up, bring the knees to the center, place your hands behind you back as you release your knees to the left and the right, arching back as you drop the knees to one side and then the other, windshield wiping the legs, just bringing more blood flow into the hips. And then slowly release your back to the mat. Arms are at your sides as you press into the mat. Feet are pressing down. You can bring your hands onto your hips. Lifting your hips up to the sky, maybe walking your feet in a little bit. Making a bridge with your body. Supporting your hips with your hands or keeping them down on the ground. You can stay here, or you can walk your feet back just a little bit more, grab onto your ankles, and press up with the hips, getting a bit deeper into your flexibility. And wherever you are, slowly begin to release your spine down to the mat. Bring your knees into your chest. Tuck that nose between your knees. Be a little ball. Squeezing in. And then release down, coming into Savasana. A moment where we truly surrender to this practice. where the body will absorb all of the benefits of every pose that we just did. This is your moment to reconnect to your intention of surrender and let it all go. I invite you to stay in Savasana for as long as you can, and as always, thank you so much for practicing with me in paradise, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone else, and also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this.